Welcome into this Monday afternoon edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Around noon as we are getting going today, talk some football. The Super Bowl is set. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the first team to ever play in a home stadium for the Super Bowl. They will face off against the one-seed Kansas City Chiefs. Bucs over Packers yesterday, and Chiefs over Bills. So we'll go over that a little bit today and whatever else is going on. Ole Miss basketball picks up a big one over Texas A&M Saturday to conclude a 2-0 week where they allowed, I guess, less than 100 points for the week in total from a defensive standpoint. So we'll hit that and more on the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Show brought to you every single day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. Download the Speed Pass Plus app. Use it and earn points. When you earn points, you save money there at the Oxford Exxon and all Blue Sky locations in Mississippi. Also stop in, get the lunch special, $5.69, 2 sides bread, 32-ounce drink every single day. Go check out the hot case, plenty of chicken, plenty of barbecue, plenty of options there in a very clean, convenient store with the Blue Sky. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900 is that number. Call it, ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line, no hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. And the rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around, or you can do what I've done. Let's hop into a Clark Ford today. You'll love the service. You'll love the vehicles, of course. Corey always says he wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. People say, what does that mean? Call the number. You'll start to find out. 662-257-1900. Guest will join us on the Rafters Music and Food Hotline this week. It's going to be kind of a weird week here, but we'll have guests at different times. Rafters Music and Food on the Square in Oxford is the place for you to go for watching college basketball. No NFL, one game left, but there's lots of college hoops, lots of NBA, lots of stuff still going on. Be a fun place to hang out. Things starting to maybe open up a little bit around the country. I'm not sure about Oxford, but different places. It's magic. It's opened up here 5 days after the election. Who saw that coming? Not me. Anyway, all that's at Rafters Music and Food on the Square in Oxford. Burgers, po' boys, shrimp, all sorts of stuff there at Rafters on the Square in Oxford and also in New Albany.
Yeah, all that. I feel like I had 2 or 3 things to play off of as you were talking there, and you made me laugh, and now I forgot all of them, so I don't know. We'll come back at some point, but it's okay. We'll get going
It's just a coincidence.
On Monday. There have been some predictions along those lines at times over the months that was a feasible and a doable thing. Whole country's getting vaccinated, obviously, is the main reason for that. So we'll, yeah. So anyway, I did see Oxford's talking about outdoor dining here in a couple hours, full time, I think, extending the pandemic activity to a permanent thing potentially, at least in some locations. So I don't know. There's a meeting about that around 2, I think, today. 12:15 as we're getting going. But anyway, you were pumped. A 10 and a 10.5 on the scale. You were all over it. Did you watch all the football this weekend?
I didn't watch it all because I had some stuff happen. It was just me and Carson here this weekend, and so I had a list of things that I wanted to get done in the house. I was washing sheets, blankets. I'm kind of a clean freak.
You are,
and I had some stuff I wanted to do, and the washing machine did not appreciate me putting in one of the blankets, which forced me to have to go find a laundromat.
Oh, really?
To get that washed and dried. And then Carson had soccer, so I missed bits and pieces of the first half of the NFC Championship game, which meant that I didn't get started on 10 Thoughts until halftime of the NFC Championship game, and I intended to be done with 10 Thoughts before kickoff of the NFC Championship game. So I watched Green Bay, Tampa Bay, but watched it distractedly.
Sure.
And then I watched the first half of Buffalo,
before
Kansas
it became
City.
very obvious what was going on.
Well, I was finishing up my work at that point, and then about halftime I was done, and I needed to feed him, so I ordered Domino's, which normally is very reliable, and yesterday was not reliable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was not a great experience.
Were they busy? What was the deal?
Apparently they got super busy right about the time that we called. Yeah. And anyway, it all worked out, but I was putting sheets on beds and
what was the order?
All that stuff. Well, we ordered 2 thin crusts, but one of the thin crusts didn't come thin.
Oh, okay.
Carson wasn't happy. He just got sausage and pepperoni, and
Okay.
I got the chicken with pepperoncinis and spinach.
Oh, that sounds good.
It was good. It was
Okay.
fine. I was tired.
So his did not come thin crust.
No, he wasn't particularly happy about it.
Like the thick, the pan,
It
the
was
hand toss,
the
whatever it is.
traditional,
Yeah.
hand toss.
Okay.
He wasn't pleased with me.
Was he not?
Well,
It wasn't your fault.
he said no. He wasn't mad at me. He wasn't mad. He was a little irritated.
I get it. I mean,
And then he went back upstairs to play his game.
And
he bailed.
so what happened with the blanket? Like it wouldn't wash,
It
or
just-
that wouldn't
well,
fit in the dryer or the
wouldn't
washer?
spin
It's too heavy.
too heavy,
Okay.
and so it kept doing that thing where it would get down to 12 minutes left and then fill back up with water again because it was confused. And so I had to get it out, which was soaking wet, put it in this big basket, carry it to a laundromat, put it in there, had to take him to soccer, get him back from soccer, move it to a dryer. I was ready to pour bourbon in a glass at some point.
I accidentally ruined a sweater in the washer and dryer on Saturday. It should never have gotten anywhere near the washer or the dryer. It's a dry clean only, and I saw it after when I was getting the stuff out of the dryer, and like you look at it and you're like, I'm gonna try it on in a second, but no chance in hell. That thing's gone, it's ruined, and then it wasn't even just small. It was like turned sideways. Like it's got like the elbow pad things on it, and those were like over here, and it was all jacked. I went, all right, that's it. Peace.
Toss.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, as everybody knows, I went into the weekend with the intention to not watch a lot of the NFC game, and I frankly I kind of stumbled on it. I sort of forgot about it early, and then early third quarter stumbled on it, and then kind of got invested, and I was.
Were you for Tampa or Green Bay?
No, I was for Green Bay. A couple different reasons. One, again, you can convince yourself when your team loses that as long as the other team is superior than the team that beat your team, that it wouldn't have mattered anyway. So you want the Packers to look pristine and run through it and go, okay, whatever. It would have been what it would have been.
Tampa's playing at a really high level.
They are. Two, I don't want my divisional opponent to win. I mean, that's just is what it is. I don't root for the division, even if that's not the team I typically hate.
I understand.
It counts. I mean, you have problems with Brewers and Pirates and all sorts of people.
I'm never cheering for the Brewers. I wouldn't cheer for the Brewers or the Cardinals against
any other team in the league.
Oh, I'm trying to think.
Iraq. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, we're not in an active. Are we still in an active war with Iraq?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, so I'd cheer for Iraq.
It's a peacekeeping mission at this point, I think. But
is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know. Are there even troops? I have no clue.
I have no idea.
Anyway, I was definitely for the Packers. Because New Orleans is a team that can do this, I didn't want Tampa to play in the first home Super Bowl either. Kind of wanted New Orleans to be the first home Super Bowl team. Because a lot of teams don't even have that option. It's not even.
You okay?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
something else. It wasn't that. It was something else.
Gotcha.
So a lot of different stuff. I got madder and madder as the game went on because of how bad the Packers played. Frankly, look, Tampa won that game with defense. I mean, their defense played out of its mind. Brady threw 3 picks. I mean, he was fine, and he made some throws when he needed to make them, but he did not play some, oh my God, championship-level quarterback game. All credit to him. Playing in 10 Super Bowls is fantastic, but I didn't come out of that going, oh my God, he was incredible
No,
today.
he was good, but he wasn't great. He missed a couple of TD passes, frankly.
Mm-hmm. But the defense was good. Fournette played a hell of a game.
Yeah.
I got done and I was a little annoyed. I'll be honest. Like as it finished, I was kind of pissed off.
Their defense is really good. Evans is a really good receiver. Fournette's really good. They're good up front on both sides. They're solid. They're a solid club, and Brady has a way of sort of raising all ships.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he's got it in spades. Gronkowski made a big play. I think he's got it in spades as well. They're just a good team. They're not great, but they're good. In today's NFL, being really good is typically good enough. I'm not sure it's going to be good enough in 13 days.
Better bring the lunch pail.
The Kansas City Chiefs are as good of a football team in the NFL as I've seen in a long time. Frankly, they're as close to unstoppable an offensive team as I've seen in the NFL in ages. Mahomes is a different level. They've got running backs. The way that Travis Kelce is used is brilliant. You've got weapons on the outside. They're very good up front. Now they lost the left tackle, who's such a good player. But to me, they look like a dynastic sort of team.
They're the best team. It's not close. They find ways to win. And it was a convincing blowout win over Buffalo after getting behind and coming back and not panicking. I mean, frankly, that was as good to me as they've looked all year. Going into that game, I picked the Bills kind of for heart more than head, but also I don't want to call it luck necessarily. But the Pythagorean win-loss would be very negative toward Kansas City. That was the first game they won by double digits since like week 6. They find ways to win football games, and all credit for that. And Mahomes makes this where it's possible. I think his intangibles, his tangibles, what he's able to do late in games, just in general of keeping pressure on teams is so much of it. But from a dynastic standpoint, I do wonder if all that luck of winning close game after close game after close game comes back and gets you for 2 or 3, 4 years after this at some point, because typically those do level out over time. Just kind of a thought, but
yeah, could.
I get you don't blow everybody out in the NFL anyway, but they win a ton of last possession games.
Yeah.
I mean, just over and over and over.
They were dominant yesterday.
They were great yesterday.
Yeah.
No, yesterday they were fantastic.
Buffalo played like a team that was kind of their first trip there.
Yeah, they're not done.
No, they'll be back.
That was a learning experience yesterday.
They'll be back.
But Mahomes is a win away from already in year whatever he's in, a legacy that is.
Well, I wrote this in 10 Thoughts. He's the one person on earth right now who you can look at and say that guy has the chance to be talked about the way we talk about Brady down the road. A game away from having 2 titles.
In 4 years?
He's still really young.
And he's, 26?
Ish. I mean, if he's on the Brady schedule, he's got 17 years left.
Brady's not done after this year.
People keep saying, what if they win? Will he retire? I'm like, why?
Will he stay in Tampa?
If he wants. At this point, I mean, he might just do the pick a franchise,
just
win a
keep
title.
Bouncing?
Yeah. He's got it.
He does.
Just in spades.
He makes everyone else better.
Makes everyone around him better, which is, frankly, the biggest compliment
That's the point.
to him.
Yeah.
Why would he walk away? He looks great.
Opening lines 3.
3.5, 3.5. I mean, he looks fantastic. He I mean, physically, he.
Did you see the picture of him this year versus his first Super Bowl year?
Yeah, he's in better shape
He
today.
looks younger and fitter now than 20 years ago.
Well, he is fitter.
Yeah. As somebody said, whatever he does diet-wise might be the only one to actually listen to. Whatever Brady does, let's all follow that.
I don't know how many of us are truly willing to put that level of work in.
Well, hardly anyone.
And, I don't think he puts one bite of food into his mouth.
They say he has
that has no purpose.
He will have alcohol very occasionally, and that's about it.
Yeah. Like the day or two after winning a Super Bowl, he'll have a couple of drinks, and then that's it.
Yeah. No, otherwise
Back to work.
It's portion, macros, this, hour.
Yeah.
Look.
Ginger says he's hotter now. I mean.
No, I mean, he is. There's no doubt.
I can look at Tom Brady and go, yeah, he's a good-looking guy. I don't have any problem with that. I'd kill to look like Tom Brady.
No, he's a more attractive human today than he was 20 years ago. There's no doubt. I mean, look at his combine photo. He was like kind of pudgy and just some dude.
Yeah, well,
compared to an athlete.
So I was having this conversation with Carson. I covered one of his last college games. They played a bowl game in Orlando against Auburn.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember being up next to Tom Brady. What had to have been 2000 or 1999, 2000.
I remember watching the game.
He was fine. He looked like a normal dude.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
In fact, I was telling Carson, Drew Henson was the more physically impressive guy.
Drew Henson does not raise up the quality of people around him every time he's around them. But yeah. Henson may be one of the biggest overall athletic busts in modern history. And I mean, he was fine. He played in Yankee Stadium. He played for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
I'm not.
We should all bust.
Yeah, sure.
Henson.
But relative to
Yeah.
to potential.
Wonder what Drew Henson's doing today.
Speaking circuit, large crowds.
No, he's not doing that. Woo! That was the most bizarre thing. So he spoke to us. Was it in Vegas?
It was in Vegas, yeah.
He speaks to the rivals.com.
400 fat dudes.
We're 400 fat, ugly dudes. And he's up there literally having a breakdown.
I thought he was going to pass out.
And I kept going, wait a minute. I remember wanting to raise my hand and go, you played third base for the Yankees and quarterback for the Cowboys. And you're worried about us?
Well, if you're a general manager, anything like what you're doing right now would go, nope, I'm good. No, no matter what. I mean, he was terrified of public speaking.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, he seriously almost fainted.
You're scared of us?
Third round of the baseball draft, and then sixth round of the NFL draft. So I should take that back. He was a multi-sport athlete, but he actually fulfilled his potential at that point. Yeah. He wasn't like he was some third overall pick that did whatever.
It's hard for me to call someone who played professionally at two sports a bust. It's just hard for me to go there.
Yeah, that's fair. He's 40 years old now.
Yeah.
He played at 6'4", 235.
That's what I mean. He was a much more impressive specimen than Brady was.
Played for the Vikings, the Lions, the Cowboys. He was released after the, speaking of current events, after Stafford was picked first overall in the 2009 NFL Draft. So he was the quarterback of the Lions at that point. So
I think that's why Giselle and Tom work.
What do you mean?
Well, they work because Tom thinks she's fortunate to
sleep.
They both just... He thinks she's fortunate to sleep in the same bed with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she thinks that any man,
of course,
is fortunate to be in the same bed with her.
But he had to develop that over time. There's no way he had that just straight coming out of Michigan.
What he had out of Michigan was work ethic.
Yeah, of course.
He'll talk about it.
Yeah.
The one thing he did throughout that caught people's attention was he would outwork everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it took.
And it worked.
And he loves the game.
Yeah, sure.
And so when people say, well, he's going to leave, to do what?
Mm-hmm.
Why? It's what he loves. He loves it more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
Play till you can't play.
Yeah.
I mean, for most quarterbacks, Drew Brees probably would say, yeah, I get it. For most quarterbacks, there comes a point where Father Time taps you on the shoulder and says, hey, bud, time's up.
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Manning got there.
Yeah.
I think Drew Brees just got that tap.
Brady's fighting him away with a stick right now.
He's trying to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Brady's like, I think Father Time looks at him and goes, hey, he's got time. We'll revisit, circle back.
There's nothing about him right now that looks washed up or done. Nothing.
No.
Arm talent, decision-making, accuracy.
No, it's all there.
Moxie.
It's all there. And, I mean, I don't know. Does he stay in Tampa? I don't know. Why not? Maybe this becomes the challenge to go someplace different.
Yeah, because he doesn't. I mean, there's nothing he can do from this point forward to even do anything to mess up a legacy. It's done.
Oh no!
So I mean,
no, he'd have to.
He could go suck for 7 years with 7 different teams. Everybody goes, all right, fine.
I mean, outside of
he hung around too long, but that's it.
No, outside of an OJ deal, there's nothing he can do to destroy his legacy.
Yeah.
No, I mean he doesn't have to win two Sundays.
No. He got there. That's all.
He took the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the Super
All
Bowl
3 straight losing
in year
seasons.
1.
And they had a good nucleus, but still. Yeah.
But Jameis Winston doesn't.
We didn't go into the season. I wasn't worried about him.
Jameis Winston doesn't take this team to the Super Bowl.
No, of course not. No. So.
Drew Brees doesn't take this team to the Super Bowl.
No.
They're able to.
The list is small. It's 3 or 4 dudes.
In today's NFL, it's Mahomes, Brady,
Rodgers.
I'd listen to Rodgers.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Talk a little more football in a second. First, tell you about Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Soto County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. So you're getting local underwriting, understands your market, a leader in condo financing, the float down option, and more. You can find Jason at 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at communitymtg.com.
We just posted a podcast, the Soft Verbal Podcast, is presented by our friends at College Corner, collegecornerstore.com. 2 locations in the Jackson area. That Soft Verbal's up on YouTube. It's also up on SoundCloud and wherever you get your podcasts. We're also brought to you by Lammon's Fine Jewelry. Lammon's in Oxford is located at 1126 North Lamar Boulevard. They've been serving the Oxford area for 73 years. From engagement rings to wedding rings to fine jewelry, watches, pearls, fashion jewelry, children's jewelry, collectibles, and more. Lammon's is the gold standard in fine jewelry. Visit them at lammonsfinejewelry.com. Call them at 662-234-2777 if you're thinking about Valentine's Day, all that kind of stuff. It'd be a great place to go visit, lammonsfinejewelry.com. We're also brought to you by Muddy Water Camo. Listen, this deal's about to expire. You got about 6 days. Go enter promo code Rebel Grove at muddywateroutdoors.com. I'm wearing the cap right now. Enter the promo code Rebel Grove until January the 31st. You get 35% off on the heated jackets, the heated vest, or also anything else on the site for the entire month of January. If you order a jacket or vest, you can get a free My Charge portable battery charger. It's about $49 value, and also free shipping. Those jackets, the vest, they're awesome. 3 temperature settings, low, medium, high. They've got premium duck goose down insulation, a triple zone heating with 2 elements in the chest, a big element in the back, windproof shell fabric with water-resistant finish, integrated iPhone charging cable accessed inside the chest pocket, premium zippers, and more. All of that at muddywateroutdoors.com. And we're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air. Comer Heating and Air is the name you can trust in professional HVAC experience in Oxford, Tupelo, and the surrounding area. Get in touch with them. Make sure your heating system is running in tip-top shape. 662-801-1777. It's Comer Heating and Air, 662-801-1777.
Podcast also brought to you by NE Spark. That's NESPARC. Service people across rural communities to package the Ignite 100 Mbps. Also, the 1 gig. It's called the Blaze. There, if you'd like the fastest thing, it is available anywhere around. If it's in your location, definitely should give them a call, 662-238-3159, or visit the website at nesparc.com. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. They also offer parental controls, network security, wireless mesh extenders, and more. So again, check out, see if they're available for you if you're in the Oxford area. Again, 662-238-3159. Yeah, speaking of quarterbacks, after the loss yesterday, Aaron Rodgers says he has no idea what's next for his future. Pro Football Talk last night listing potential destinations in 2021 for Aaron Rodgers as the 49ers, the Patriots, the Steelers, the Raiders, the Colts, and the Saints. I could find a place in my heart for Aaron. We could find a way for a couple years and make that work.
His contract with Green Bay is up.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who brought him to Green Bay just passed away, Ted Thompson.
Correct. That's correct.
It's no secret that he's not thrilled with the fact that they brought in a quarterback last year in the draft.
It was new, but he hated it was brand new, but he hated the conservative call on 4th down yesterday.
Yeah.
He was very abrasive. By the way, one of the dumber things in history. We'll get to that in a minute. But he's gone, and he's still got juice left. I mean, he's the MVP.
Oh, he's got lots of juice.
I mean.
All right, give me those schools. Give me those teams again.
Yeah. 49ers.
Nah, it doesn't sound right.
Patriots.
Well, let me back up. 49ers. He grew up a 49ers fan.
He's from California.
From there.
Northern Cal.
Add them in.
Yeah, can't throw that out.
Patriots, that doesn't sound right.
Steelers. Doesn't sound right.
It doesn't feel right.
I don't think the Raiders or the Colts are good enough.
Probably not. And the Raiders aren't in the Bay Area anymore.
Yeah. And the Saints.
Colts are indoors.
They are.
Saints are indoors.
Yeah.
Boy, Saints make a ton of sense.
Saints make sense.
If he could pay for it. They got to pay for it. Yeah, well, yeah, it's true. Saints
it's called deferred salary. We figured out that.
Carry the 119, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, in 2024, it's going to really suck. But for now, it's fine.
Hey, 2.4 rounded up is 27, right? Cool.
Well, Breeze is coming off the books. So, hey, it's all good.
If we say these two guys died and they really didn't die, can we use their money?
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah. Niners or Saints make the most sense to me.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think Pittsburgh's particularly close.
Oh, I'd be so hyped. You have no idea. I'm like already giddy about the possibility of Aaron Rodgers. That window just burst back open. We're good.
You have Aaron Rodgers that's available.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, who's potentially available.
He's not going to New Orleans, though.
No. Feels like he'd stay in Tampa, right?
I think so.
I mean, Bruce Arians is basically his philosophy is, what would you like?
Deshaun Watson's available if you'd like to give your arm and 2 legs and a kidney for him.
Yeah, it's weird. The Deshaun Watson-Lamar Jackson trade idea is interesting. I don't know why the Texans would do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a bunch of quarterbacks in the draft.
But you could do, I mean, depending on what quarterback we're talking about, a trade for, a free agent or whatever, you could still take one of the other kids in the draft, depending on whom it is. That's doable, especially if it's like Trask. I'm just not. Stafford doesn't do enough for me. I just don't. I'd rather keep Jameis than take Matthew Stafford. I'm good. I don't think he's a winner. I know that's not completely fair because it's looked really bad around him, but
and he's played for a wretched franchise.
He has. And look, Jameis isn't either to this point, but Stafford does nothing for me. I'd rather have Jameis than Matt Stafford, and I'm not sure it's close.
I'm higher on Stafford than you are. I'm aware of the franchise that he's played in,
and they've sucked.
They've
done nothing to help him at all.
It's an egregiously bad franchise.
Yeah,
as mismanaged an NFL franchise as you will.
And he's gotten them to the playoffs at least once, maybe twice.
Yeah, I mean,
because the Saints beat them in one of them.
I mean, guys have just walked away in the primes from the Lions, going, I don't like football enough to keep doing this.
Barry, Calvin.
Yeah.
Stafford
played hurt.
Georgia Rebel says, "Give me any of those names in Chicago."
Oh, no doubt.
Just you can pick it for us. Take your pick.
Oh, I mean, Matthew Stafford in Chicago makes them a contender.
Oh,
they made the playoffs with Trubisky.
They did,
and Foles. Yeah. So don't go, oh, this bullshit. No, I mean, they just got through playing a playoff game. We watched it. I mean, I saw it. I didn't say Super Bowl contender. I said playoff contender.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be if Aaron Rodgers is truly pissed at the Packers, if he really wants to show the Packers.
Oh, come on. He's not going to the Bears.
If he really wants to tell the Packers what he thinks of the 4th down call and what he thinks of them drafting a quarterback, if he really wants to make that point, there's one way to really make it.
Detroit.
And I got to tell you, you have a place in your heart.
Yeah.
My heart would open immediately.
Yeah, because he's still my rebound. He's not even your rebound. It's just, hey, come on in. I'm ready for the commitment. I mean, I'm still going to kind of wonder where 9 is occasionally for a couple games next year.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers proposing to Bears fans, he wouldn't even get down on the knee before the answer was yes.
Yeah. We'll pack you.
Oh. Let's go to the courthouse right now. No, we don't want to plan a wedding. I don't want to give you time to think about it. Let's go right now. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, shit. I don't.
Take my blood, and then I'm going to sign this in blood. No, I mean,
I do. Doris actually has a point here. I do think there's a chance Matt Stafford ends up in Dallas.
Yeah.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
He's from Highland Park.
Yeah. He fits on the Saints. I've watched so much bad team football with them that I've got this thing in my head and I can't get past it. I'm admitting it, but I can't. Just doesn't feel right.
He's never played for a Sean Payton.
No, he's played for a bunch of mess.
I'm telling you now.
He saw Dan Campbell's press conference and went, "Oh, they trade out."
Yeah, no, he's
because there's nothing about that hire. I mean, I know he's a former Saint, but there was nothing about that hire that was sexy.
Ginger says, as a Bears fan, I don't know, man. I really can't stand him. Give me someone else, anyone else.
You got to put it to the side.
Oh.
You're gonna have to learn to love him.
I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I me
Well, yeah, I mean, I can say all I want to, but like the Saints aren't trading for Matt Ryan tomorrow. He's not coming over and hanging out with me.
He would take the Bears from 8-8 to 11-5.
About 11-5. Yeah.
Well, 11-5, you got a shot.
Tampa Bay's in the Super Bowl at 11-5.
My point.
Or 10-6 or whatever
Yeah.
they are. I don't remember. Something like that.
What's Prescott going to do? Is he going to stay in Dallas?
I don't know because I mean he could have gotten so much more money if he just chilled a little bit earlier. I don't know because I don't see where he has a ton of market across the league. I mean, somebody will obviously pay him. He's a good quarterback, but nobody's giving you $35 million.
I've never once watched him and thought NFL champ.
No. I agree with that. Yankees with a cost-cutting move. That's when the Yankees decide we're going to be a budget team.
What'd they do?
They sent Adam Ottavino to Boston in a trade, trying to save some cash.
Or try to open some cash.
Well, maybe that's a good point. Yeah. Either way, they're getting money off the books.
No one's going to the Cubs. They're talking about packaging Kyle Hendricks and Chris Bryant in a deal to Toronto, which will take me a few minutes to get past when that happens.
Toronto?
Yeah.
For what?
Why would you package Kyle Hendricks in a trade? You have. I don't even want to start.
For what though?
Just kids, young.
So they're starting over.
Yeah, got to save money.
Why?
Oh, I don't know if you heard, but the Ricketts lost money. Biblical proportions was the quote.
The White Sox are the spenders in the city now.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one.
Well, there's no question. No one's. I mean, the National League Central, all 5 teams, no one's done anything. Pittsburgh's taken anybody that could play at the major league level and traded them. The Cubs, Brewers, Cardinals, Reds have done nothing but bleed. No one's done anything. Seriously, none of the teams in that division have added anything of remote significance.
And speaking of the Saints and salary caps and money and not really caring, the equivalent in baseball right now is the San Diego Padres. They're just taking anybody.
Yeah, figuring it out.
You can play. You're an all-star. Well, come on. We'll knock it out. We'll make it work. I get it. I do. Yeah, Ottavino, $27 million over 3 years. Doesn't happen very often.
With Boston?
That's what
That's
Yankees
what he's
were
got
paying
left?
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what the Yankees were paying him.
Yeah, good for him.
First trade between the Yankees and the Red Sox since 2014.
Yeah, they don't do a lot of deals. But it's a different day. Did you see with the Cactus League, the teams in Arizona Maricopa County does not want them to report.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the COVID stuff.
What are they going to do?
I don't know. I mean, today's January the 25th. Pitchers and catchers.
Can they just go somewhere else?
I mean, I guess.
Logistically, is that doable?
I don't know. Is it? You got about 3 weeks. I mean, pitchers and catchers, if you're going to start on time, got to report here soon. Typically around Valentine's Day. Full squads report around February the 20th, and you got about 6 weeks of camp, and then you break and you play.
A little harder to do now. Don Kester tells a really good story about how one of the years with the Cubs, their owner got pissed off at Arizona or Phoenix or Mesa, wherever they were.
They were in Tempe.
Okay. Got mad at them and decided to move their minor leagues that year, or their spring training, sorry. Their spring training to California. Well, Blair Field, Long Beach State. That's how we got on the conversation. We were talking about Long Beach State a couple years ago. And he goes, look, we weren't going to win the pennant anyway, but the toll that suddenly put on our bodies of everybody else is traveling like 10 minutes and playing split squads, and we're getting on flights to play spring training games. He goes, we're flying back and forth to Arizona, and all the other teams are pissed off because they're having to come to Long Beach, and he said, complete and utter nightmare, all basically over ego. I mean, there was nothing else to it other than ego. So it just ruined their year before they even got it.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah. I mean, a little harder to do now. So how many teams are in that county? Is it almost damn all of them?
It's most of them.
Is it?
I mean, the White Sox are down in Tucson.
Okay.
Seems like there might be somebody else in Tucson, but everybody else is there in that Phoenix area. I mean,
yeah.
If you've ever been out there for spring, you know that they're all out there together. It's
just like Orlando.
Well, you have
Florida.
Mesa and Tempe and Phoenix and
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale and Glendale and Peoria
It's everybody.
and Goodyear.
Yeah.
And they're all out there together, which is the point.
Yeah.
You can
it's just
you can split squad. You can work out in the day, and the guys that are going to go play can get on a bus for 20 minutes and go play a game.
Yeah. Sucks.
Oh, game changer. I mean, you got to find facilities in Florida for all those teams or something?
Mm-hmm. You would. Yeah, you'd have to just send everybody the grapefruit.
I guess, well, not everybody has facilities. Now you're having to that's a logistical nightmare. If you're and half the league trains in Arizona.
Mm-hmm. You're talking 15, 16 clubs.
It's a bad day in Major League Baseball. They're like, whoa, hold up. So what are you saying?
Yeah.
But this, not getting on the topic at all, but this spring is an issue for a lot of stuff because of you have an administration change with this 100 days thing that every new president does, but this 100 first days, and that the 100 days gets us to what, the middle of April?
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
I mean, so you've got all this weirdness for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that impacts everything.
Yeah, I don't either. Podcast brought to you in part by Tyson Drugs and G&M Pharmacy. Get your immune support med packs if you'd like. Pharmacists develop combinations of vitamins and supplements designed to boost your immune system and lung health. Vitamin C, zinc, NAC, probiotic, and vitamin D3 all work together to boost those different things, over-the-counter supplements to prepare your body. You can find out more at 662-236-2222. Also deliver locally in the Oxford area and offer MedSync to fill your prescriptions the same day each month to take care of you when you need it. So again, Holly Springs or Oxford, 662-236-2222.
The podcast is also brought to you by our friends at Pinnacle Trust. Pinnacle Trust, based in Madison, Mississippi. They've got clients in more than 20 states, advisors in multiple states as well. Founded in 1997, Pinnacle Trust provides detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle Trust will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed, and financial plan built just for you. Pinnacle Trust, you find out more about them by going to pintrust.com, PINNtrust.com. That's Pinnacle Trust, PINNtrust.com. Tell them that you heard about Pinnacle Trust on the podcast. You get 10% off your first year's fees. We're also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. If you're thinking about traveling this summer, there's some golf trips that are out there right now that are great deals, hotels, resorts. I'm supposed to talk to John here in the next day or so about some of the deals that are out there to pass along to you guys as people start to think about opening back up, taking that trip that they didn't get to take in 2020. Give John some parameters, give him a budget, let him give you options. And no, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387, or send him an email at j.edwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first book trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast. We're also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, Grenada Nissan's the place to go. They've got a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles. Great lease deals as well. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. And we're brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all with the personal touch. And when you call OUB, you speak directly with a live person. No 10 buttons to push, no 5 minutes to wait. If you want to learn more about OUB, and you do, get in touch with them. Live Oxford. BankOxford.com, or call 662-234-6668.
So Ole Miss men's basketball, as we mentioned, picked up a big win, really good week, beating Mississippi State during the midweek, and then Texas A&M over the weekend, 61-50. The final score, Ole Miss went on a huge run kind of early in the second half there, and ended up blowing out the Aggies. They led by as many as 18, 57-39 there at one point. Played incredibly well defensively, as we said, allowed fewer than 100 points for the week between those two games. Joyner really came out, set 7-11 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 6 of 7 from the stripe for 21 points, and then Schuler added in 17 of his own on Saturday.
They had an exceptional defensive week. When you hold two SEC teams to an average of 48 points a game, that's getting it done. If you hold teams to 48 a game, you're going to win
a lot of them.
You're going to win most. Probably win them all. Had a big week, so now they've got 2
at Arkansas Wednesday, at Georgia Saturday.
Yeah, realistically, you got to win them both. People say, what do you mean? Well, I mean, look, if you're going to be a tournament team, you got to start winning games. Arkansas's net is like 35, 36, 33, somewhere in there. A road win like that would be a quad 1 win. And then you can go to Georgia, and you have to win because their net's like 102, 103, somewhere in there. That's the egregious loss for Ole Miss on the resume right now is Georgia. So you got to go win that game. You can't have 2 losses to Georgia on your resume. It's over. Be really difficult to overcome. So they've got to beat Arkansas. They got to beat Mississippi State, and then you start getting some opportunities. Not Mississippi State, Georgia. Then you get some opportunities after that because you got Missouri coming up. Missouri's net is in the 20s, I think. Tennessee's coming up. Their net's close to 20-ish. You got chances, but you got to win a whole bunch of games. Now, the way they played the last 2 games, if they'll play like that consistently, they're going to have a real shot to win games.
Ken Palm still has Ole Miss at 55 right now.
Okay, so they're up a little bit.
Arkansas at 39.
39.
And that's a quad 1 game for Ole Miss on Wednesday, obviously, with the Razorbacks.
Oh, it's a must-win game. Bottom line, you have to win games. You can't put a resume together of nothing but, hey, we have some good losses.
Here's also why it's a stretch that you really need these 2 wins. You need them anyway for everything you're talking about. They just need to find ways. I mean, it is what it is. But got a pretty tough road. Arkansas on Wednesday night, it's not going to be a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. And then after Georgia, Tennessee, Auburn, Missouri.
Yeah, so you got to win 2 of those 3.
Yeah, and
it's going to be tough.
Tennessee's the kind of, at least they're losing the games right now, but in theory, the better version of you. It's very predicated by defense. Their shooting can get streaky. Yeah. They're kind of Ole Miss, but with more talent all the way around. Missouri just keeps winning games.
Oh,
it's not overly impressive, in my opinion, sometimes, but they win. They're
tough, gritty. They have adopted his personality. And then Auburn's tough because they've got so many good young players that when they do play well.
And Cooper's there now.
Cooper's a stud.
Yeah. Whew. Ken Palm giving Ole Miss a 36% chance on Wednesday in Fayetteville, a 59% chance in Athens on Saturday, 42% chance against the Volunteers, 43 against Auburn, 50 against Missouri, and 53 against Carolina in Columbia.
Yeah, it's a tough slate.
Yeah.
The week where they lost to Florida and Georgia haunts today. The Alabama loss doesn't hurt. The LSU loss doesn't hurt. The loss at Florida is a killer because you had the game won, and the loss at Georgia at home's kind of inexcusable, really. And then you have the Dayton loss. You have the Wichita loss. Got
3 and 4 instead of 5 and 2.
Yeah, well, if they were 5 and 2 in the,
you'd be talking tournament.
We'd be having a different conversation.
Yeah,
because instead of in the 50s, they'd probably be about where Arkansas is from a rating standpoint.
But not the case.
No.
Just got the alert on my watch. The soft verbal is out, by the way, in podcast form and on YouTube. If you guys would like to check that out. Obviously, Tywone Malone was in over the weekend, so I haven't listened, but I assume that they led with that and then answered some questions.
We did indeed. Like an hour and 20 minutes. It was
really?
Yeah, it was a long podcast.
So y'all solved a lot of Tywone Malone news? Really broke it down.
And I was kind of excited because I figured out how to incorporate Skype into eCam and do it on a live stream on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Words I never thought I'd say a year ago.
In all ways, right? I mean,
really in every possible way. There's a lot of those words I never thought I'd say. But it's there.
And it's really changed the business so much, the early signing period, because, it's January 25th, and we're talking about one dude.
Yeah, that's it.
There's one guy. It's all Tywone Malone.
They're going to sign him.
I guess Trevin Wallace technically, but, it's one guy.
Yeah, it doesn't appear so. It appears they're going to sign Malone, and they're going to have somewhere between 3 and 5 spots in the transfer portal.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's more than most programs.
I think this was by plan.
Yeah.
Obviously, they know of a few. And this is by plan. It's see what's out there. I don't think Lane Kiffin's middle name is Patience.
Going to rebuild this thing brick by brick and
yeah.
And
no, I want to win now.
Well, this is really a 5-year plan, guys. That's what we're doing. We're
describe Lane Kiffin in a word. Nobody says, one of the words that would come to mind is patient.
Off-season program started today. Got those videos all over the internet.
Yeah.
Got a lot going on. It's all good. What's Tennessee going to do? You still think it's Elliott?
I think it's Elliott. There's a lot of buzz around Fleck that appears to be real.
How bad I know it's a COVID year. How bad did this year hurt him, though? Because, frankly, they look bad most of the year.
It hurt him, but you wonder if it didn't also make him go, hey, this isn't going to work here. I can't do this forever. This is just not possible.
You think it's lightning in a bottle and you got it, get out?
Well, and Fleck is a program-building guy.
He is. More than a sustainer.
Yeah, that's what they need, really. Right now, they need somebody to come in and build a program.
But you got to do it in a specific way, and Tennessee has so much scar tissue. Because Butch Jones was supposed to be the program builder and the brick by brick and the life championship and all that crap. And, I mean, it just hasn't happened. I mean, it's not, it's Fleck likes his cliches and his sayings and his, hey, this is going to take some time. And that's kind of the way his attitude is a little bit. That Vol fan base is so rabid.
Well, I hate to break. Let me break.
No, look, it is going to take us some time. Don't get me wrong.
I was going to say, allow me to break a little bad news to them from something that I've covered a couple of times in my life that's coming their way. This NCAA thing is going to take 2 years to adjudicate, and then you get hit. See,
the clock isn't started yet.
You don't even get hit right away. It's not like you go into a fight and you get knocked out.
But the waiting on the verdict is just as bad.
No, it's worse.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
But then the verdict comes, and then here's these penalties that you have to deal with.
Yeah. 2-year probation means 6-year probation. By the time everything actually runs its course.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Ole Miss got its penalties November of 2017, and this year is when they felt like a normal football team.
2020?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, that's true. Really, a 2021 roster will feel normal.
Yeah.
To some degree.
I mean, last year, people would call me and say, how's their defense so bad? I'm like, well,
let me run you through it.
You got 5 minutes?
Yeah.
And you'd walk them through. Well, they didn't recruit this year and that year and that year. Yeah, no, listen, realistically, Ole Miss is not going to be back at full strength post-NCAA hell realistically till 2022. Now, they're really close next year.
Yeah, it will.
But there will still be some deficiencies.
You have to find the wrinkle, but yeah.
Yeah, but there will still be some deficiencies.
Oh, defense could still really suck next year.
Well, the defensive line is really counting on a freshman and a couple of JUCO transfers and that kind of thing because you couldn't recruit them successfully during NCAA stuff.
That's the thing for me is, I mean, I'm pretty high on Ole Miss next year. They're going to score a ton of points. I think Corral's in for a hell of a season. But counting on those two dudes to be good right away, Jamon Gordon, Iton.
Yeah, it's a lot.
You got to have them be good from day one.
Yeah, and that's a lot to ask.
Because if they're not, your defensive line's not very good.
No.
And you saw what that means, because it means more than just no pass rush. Your linebackers got people on them, and it's all sorts of stuff.
Well, you struggle against the run.
Your corners have to be better. It's all over the place.
No, they've got to be significantly better on defense. That's like I've done these radio shows already where the question is, the radio guy goes, so Ole Miss was really bad on defense. Can they be really good this year? And you're like, well,
really good.
You cover this, right? I mean, you're around this. The answer's probably not. Can you go from really bad to average? Yeah. Sure.
They don't need a top 20 defense. They need a top 60 defense, 70
And I think that's realistic. But, people going, well, I tell you, if you get this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy, and they all work out great from day one, well, yeah, sure. But how often does that happen?
Damon Clowney is trying to gain weight. He played some, but dude needs some pounds.
He wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Typical of a lot of freshmen. So
that's the other thing, too, in our instant gratification world of recruiting is a dude's like a redshirt sophomore, and everybody's like, where's he been? What's going on? It's like, well.
Yeah, so you have to take the Clowney thing, and you have to extrapolate that from this freshman class that's coming in that everybody's excited about. I hear all these people going, well, they'll have a whole spring, and yes, that will help. But time is time. And a lot of times it takes a freshman 18 months to be ready. And so that doesn't allow for September. You can't count on all those guys. So if you tell me Hudson Wolf's ready to go in September, I buy it. But if you tell me Hudson Wolf's 5 games in before he's kind of ready to really contribute, I buy that too.
I mean, I saw him in the video today. MJ Daniels needs some weight. Kind of thin.
Yeah, he's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
Got all sorts of potential, but he's got to get bigger.
I mean,
and how much of that can you get done in 8 months? We'll see.
Yeah, it's a fascinating roster to see what they have, what they don't have, what it looks like. Elliott makes more sense than anybody else to me there. You don't have some of the crap. Elliott makes a lot of sense. I think that's...
The interesting thing is there are people out there in the coaching thing that say he's not 100% sure he'd take it.
Why?
He's been pretty comfortable for a while now at Clemson. Can wait his time. He's going to have other opportunities.
Dabo's found a way to keep 2 coordinators that long. Because Venables just doesn't want to be a head coach.
Well, Venables is they pay him head coach money.
Yeah, sure.
And don't make him recruit.
Yeah, so he is a head coach in some ways, but
I mean, he's got a great deal.
Yeah.
And he gets to coach his sons. Most people think when his sons graduate Clemson that he's going to give it a shot somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But he wants to coach his kids, and he does. His kids is grown up with Clemson, wanted to play at Clemson, so he's going to let them play at Clemson, and then he might see what else is out there. But they got
a lot of guys back. Their defense kind of came back then this year.
He's making like 2.6.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, and he doesn't have to recruit.
Yeah,
he just does the on-campus help finish it up recruit.
Yeah,
doesn't have to go out and do it. Just looks at film, evaluates.
That's a hell of a gig.
Not a bad gig.
That's a hell of a gig.
And Dabo leaves him alone, apparently. He has decision-making on that side of the ball a lot. Kind of does his own deal. So he kind of is a head coach without the headache of being a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to do a lot of media. Not a bad deal.
There is a story from with quotes from Tywone Malone on the site at rebelgrove.com, rivals.com. Adam Friedman did that. Friedman also put his Futurecast in for Ole Miss with Tywone Malone. So again, just you can check that out there on the website if you'd like.
I mean, if you can't read between,
it feels very Ole Miss right now. We'll just say that it feels.
I mean, I don't know what else you got to see. I mean, I think he's going to Ole Miss. You think he's going to Ole Miss. Adam thinks he's and Adam's opinion is worth more than yours and mine extrapolated times 100 because he's talked to him a lot.
Yeah. Adam talked to him, basically read kind of excitement levels and everything else and went, okay, I'm putting it in for Ole Miss.
Well, yeah, it's like, over the weekend I kept getting these emails from not too many people, but I got like 3. How come you guys don't have more coverage of Tywone Malone's visit? And so I finally answered with, well, number one, I don't know what you want us to do. Go stalk the guy and look like some pedophiles running around town. But he's going to talk to Adam Friedman within hours of the visit being over.
Yeah. We chose not to be creepy. I mean, I could have posted a couple things Sunday morning, and I was never going to do it. Right. It just what it was.
I knew he would talk.
I wasn't out on the town and saw him. I didn't see him.
I knew he would talk to Adam.
Yeah.
And I knew that he and Adam had the type of relationship that he would get the kind of quotes that he got this morning.
Detailed, quotes.
Insightful quotes that if you can't read into those, I can't help you.
He said nice things about 3 places.
But if you read the one that he really gushed about,
it
was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And then Adam puts in his Futurecast, which is Adam's way of going, look, I can't say anything more than this because I don't want to burn the kid, but we do have this Futurecast feature, and I'm going to give you a hint as to where I think he's going to go.
Yeah.
My money's on Friedman's pick.
Oh, well, 100%. More than anyone else's. I mean, that's,
of course.
That's the one.
Because he's the one that's built the relationship with him.
He wanted to see where he was going to live, and he wanted to talk football more, or at least see football kind of stuff, because he did a big baseball visit in the spring, and now this was more football-related, more living. Because that's the thing, too, and that was kind of a clue, too, from a Nugget or Chick standpoint earlier in the weekend, was if you're not pretty dang serious and you know what you're doing, you're not worried about the visit where you get into the minutia and the detail of, okay, so sophomore year I live here, junior year I live here, I live with this person, well, how do we do this? How do I get from this place? Like, that type of specificity is a huge tell on what Tywone Malone is thinking as he's 8 days away from his decision or 9 days away from his decision or whatever. So
9.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, yeah, I guess it would be 9. So anyway.
Well, like Leif, it would have been a great weekend for Chad to come back to town, but Chad would have been stalking one person. And I just think it would have gotten creepy.
Oh. Well, There's multiple reasons why it wouldn't have worked. I'm just
Yeah.
No, it would not have worked. No.
I won't do it.
We weren't going to put Chad at the table next to him. I mean, sorry, it just wasn't going to happen.
I won't do it. It's beyond creepy for someone my age to be out there stalking a high school senior. Beyond creepy. It's creepier than. I mean, I can't tell you how much on those mornings at the inn at Ole Miss, waiting for kids to leave.
Even that?
Yeah, I can't tell you how much by the end of those 4
well,
hours.
That's nothing compared to this.
And at the end of those 4 hours, I hate myself so much that it's literally takes me a couple of days to kind of get past it.
Did our YouTube feature not tell you guys Mark and Grind just joining the stream, or are you? I mean, I know we went early, so is it just this is when you had available, or did you not get the notifications in the stream?
I think notifications have been hit and miss.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just kind of curious there. A little about you. Yeah, I don't see baseball. I don't know what you're talking about, Blake, but I don't see baseball or basketball SEC tournaments happening. Either one. I just don't.
Be shocked
at
either one.
It just doesn't seem like a thing. So
I would put the odds of a basketball tournament happening at 10%.
I was even going to say 5, yeah.
And I would put the odds of a baseball tournament happening at
it's higher, but not a lot.
15%?
Yeah.
20% tops? I wouldn't even go 25%. That feels way too strong.
Yeah, 1 in 5 at most, it feels like. So.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. Podcast brought to you in part by Visit Oxford. Visit oxfordms.com. You go to the events page, see everything going on locally, including a lot of drive-in movies here coming up. Don't Give Up the Ship, January 28th. That's in 3 days, 7 to 9 on that one. A Time to Kill is at the Cannon Motors Drive-In, 7 to 11:30. Got a double feature there on the 29th, the 2021 Ole Miss Baseball Ladies Forum, January 30th from 9 to 2 on that Saturday. Also on Saturday, doing a double feature of Indiana Jones drive-in movies. You got the Temple of Doom, and then you got the Last Crusade there at the drive-in, and they're doing the same thing the next day as well. 6:30 to 11 both days, January 30th and 31st. So find out where to eat, where to stay, the events, and more. Visit oxfordms.com.
We're also brought to you by Whitney McNutt, Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. She sells condos, land, commercial, and residential family homes. 662-567-2573, 662-842-3844. We're also brought to you by Bain, Moss, and Bowen, located in historic downtown Corinth. Their firm practices a wider range of law, from DUI defense to car wrecks to representing government entities. Bain, Moss, and Bowen is the only firm in Mississippi made up of a sitting state legislator, a former assistant district attorney, and a former circuit court judge. Their experience is unmatched in that regard. You can tap into it by visiting them at 618 East Waldron Street in Corinth or by calling them 662-287-1620. And we're brought to you by Alpha Specialties, located at 1670 Highway 80 in Pearl, Mississippi. It's your trailer-specific professional. If you want to haul it, they can call it. Alpha is the premium trailer dealership in Mississippi. They've got Load Trail, which is the premium brand trailer, the highest quality utility equipment dump and gooseneck trailer being built today. They've also got Hallmark cargo trailers, one of the most quality cargo trailers on the market, perfect for hauling goods to markets and shows, ATVs to deer camps, and so much more. They've got spare tires and wheels starting at just $100, a full selection of trailer parks and accessories, hitches, winches, straps, and more. They also do all types of truck accessories. You can get 10% off your yearly trailer service and inspection at Alpha's full service shop. Just tell them that you heard about them here on the MPW Digital Network of Podcasts. You can give them a call, 601-932-9798, or alphaofms.com. Podcast also presented by Blue Delta Jeans. Blue Delta Jeans makes the best fitting, most comfortable jeans in the world because they are uniquely made for you and only you. Raw denim jeans, custom fit and hand-tailored in Tupelo, Mississippi. One size fits one at BlueDeltaJeans.com. They've been advertising with us for the past 2 years. We've always directed you to DM Blue Delta to set up a time to get measured. Now, whether you're coming to Oxford or not, you can visit BlueDeltaJeans.com to get measured by their new virtual tailor and design your own jeans. They're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. I'm sure Chase would say the same. So again, BlueDeltaJeans.com. And we're brought to you by The Rogue. The Rogue, your destination for fine men's clothing. Their stylish hand-select pieces from top designers, from work to lifestyle to nightlife. That's the perfect something for everyone. The Rogue has all the best items from Peter Millar, Martin Dingman, Jack Victor, Halsey True Grit, and more. Visit them at 4450 I-55 North in Jackson or at therogue.com.
So I guess I talked to you when you were leaving the other day. You started running a little more. Are you trying to hit a 5th marathon? What are you doing?
I'm not going to go that far yet, but I'm working my way back into being able to run distances again. I'm up to about 4 1/4 now, kind of doing it slowly. I could run more than that, but there would be...
That's pretty patient on your part. You don't necessarily have that typically.
So I did the 35-minute run the other day, and I was like, ooh, I could finish the hour.
Okay.
And then I thought, and I could have from a cardio standpoint, but I thought if I do that, there's a decent chance that I'm going to really be hurting tomorrow. And I don't want to be hurting right now. I want to see what this does because there's no marathons really to go run much. There's a few.
No, I've looked. There's not a lot.
So I'm going to take my time and we'll see.
What made you want to get back into it?
Just mixing it up.
Okay.
And it's I actually did a 60-minute Peloton deal yesterday. Jen Sherman's 60-minute football ride on Sundays.
Football ride.
Football ride. Yeah, she's a big Eagles fan, and it was great. I since I started running again, my metrics on Peloton were better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, burned more calories, had a higher output. The whole shooting match.
JM, the St. Jude is in December if they have it. It's always like the first weekend in December or something like that. Yeah, I saw where the Blues were still doing their marathon. I saw Greenville was still doing Greenwood. One of them
one
were still
across the
there.
river.
Yeah. I know as of now, Nashville has still got theirs in April, I think, scheduled. Their rock and roll is still scheduled. Yeah, I was looking for stuff, and there's not a ton out there. But
the one in Duluth apparently is still on.
Oh, is it?
In June.
Okay.
Which was cool because they had a thing. They did a thing this morning.
It's a fairly flat course, too, in good
100%.
weather.
100%.
Yeah,
It was great.
Yeah. There are worse ones if you're going to pick one.
The only thing about that one that was so crazy was by the time they hit the gun to go, we were wet because it had rained and it was in the 40s.
Oh.
And I was so cold that I ran.
Well, that's why you got your issue because you don't even realize how cold and wet you are and like all that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that deal.
I ran fast to warm up. Like I wanted to get warm. And the only way to do it was to get moving because I couldn't put more clothes on.
I'm surprised you made it as well as you did then, too, because going out too fast on a marathon is one of the dumber things you can humanly do.
I know. But I did. I was fine. I never even hit the wall on that one.
Oh, really?
Okay. But it probably screwed up my pace later a little bit.
Yeah.
I wasn't really caring. I was trying to get under 4 hours. And I was way too fast early, and it kind of messed me up a little bit. But I didn't, hurt.
Did you ever notice yourself really slow down, though? I mean,
yeah, I would look at my splits, and I was like, go faster. And then I couldn't.
That's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, it was like, my body was like, hey, remember those first 6 miles, dumbass?
There's no kick at 24 miles. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's good.
My best time was 4:03.
It was the first one, right?
In Chicago.
Yeah.
Now,
because Jeffrey and I were following, and I think we had a bet on your 4 hours, and you had a really good shot there to the very end. I thought we might pull it out.
Well, that was the one where I was cruising.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And so that dude in the red cap in front of me, I've told you this?
Yeah, you told me.
Super fit guy. And we're past the White Sox Park, so we're 21, 22 miles in. And I'm going, all right, well, this is as far as I've ever run. And I'm keeping pace with that dude because he was fit. I mean, dude was like a specimen. And I'm going, I got this. So I'm just going to stay this comfortable 30 yards behind this guy because I'm watching his red cap. And I'm like, I'm just going to stay his pace right here. I'm good. And I'm looking down. I'm running 8 and something minute miles. I'm like, I'm doing the math in my mind. I'm like, I'm going to get there. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it was important because it doesn't matter in the whole scheme of life.
Thing.
Yeah. And dude just goes, drops. And I'm like, holy shit. Now what? As I run by him and he's on the ground, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's just a matter of time before everything locks up. It's just a matter of time. And then so as soon as I felt the beginning of like a cramp in a calf, I'm like, here we go, it's over. And so I slow down so that I don't. And when I slowed down, I lost the pace.
Most of the time when that happens with the really fit dudes, they're so fit they didn't train properly.
Right.
And didn't get the miles in as they should,
Right.
and they just cramp the hell up at some point and fall over. That's typically what happens on the really fit guy.
Because at Duluth, actually, the last mile and a half, I started running faster, and the last 3/4 of a mile, I basically sprinted. I mean, I had plenty of juice left. In Chicago, I was great until my brain told me, oh, God, look out.
Yeah.
Because you're about to lose it.
You know, I mean, you're on long distance, you're going to lose muscle. I mean, it's not the same thing. It's impossible to be your peak muscular and your peak distance running.
Yeah,
I mean,
no way.
they counteract one another. It's you're looking for a balance there in some way.
You see people that are like professional runners. Their legs are pretty twiggy.
Yeah.
Hard as a brickbat, but
I assume, JM, you mean under a 4-hour marathon, not under a 4-minute mile, correct?
oh yeah, no. Holy cow. My fastest mile in a marathon was probably 6.5 minutes, maybe.
In a marathon? Shit.
The end in Duluth, I think that last one I cruised.
No shit.
Yeah, I was flying. Yeah, because David and I looked at the thing and I passed like 200 and something people in the last mile.
Good God.
I felt great. The weather was great and I felt good and I'm like, let's go.
I would have felt like I had like some adrenaline going. It was going to like make me pass out in a minute or something. Like I
kind of knew. I was like, oh, I'm good. Here we go. And had I known in Chicago that I was fine, I would have sped up that last mile. But once I realized I'm not going to make it under 4, it was okay. We'll just make it. Don't screw it up now. And so the last mile in Chicago was like an 11-minute mile because I was just like, whatever.
Just get there.
And I was looking around at that point and
taking it in
a little bit, yeah.
So I don't know, whatever. As we said, by the way, last thing here. I guess I get sort of why it's a story, but on front page of ESPN.com right now is Krzyzewski apologizing to a student reporter for a response that went viral, and it wasn't a big deal. Like I'm surprised he apologized. I've been yelled at far worse, but from a student reporter standpoint, what are we doing here that is instead of making this a learning opportunity and go, okay, fine, take it and move on with your day the next day.
The kid's question was fine.
It was fine.
And the answer was fine.
He was pissed off.
He was mad. You do this long enough, you're going to piss off coaches.
They're not really even mad at you. They're just mad.
They're just mad. Yeah. And you're a gnat at that moment.
Anybody who's not aware, Jake Piazza, reporter for the Duke Chronicle student newspaper, asked Krzyzewski about his team's, quote, next step forward following the loss to Louisville. He says, why don't we just evaluate this game? I'm not into what our next step forward is right now. He then compared the scenario to Piazza exiting a difficult class and immediately asking about his toughest test.
Yeah, he's like, what was your major? What's your major?
Econ.
What's your hardest? He goes,
econ.
He goes, well, imagine walking out of the hardest econ class and econ test and saying, okay, well, what's next?
He called him back a couple days later, apologized in a short conversation. I have no necessarily problem with the apology, but how this becomes a story is beyond me. I mean, it's.
I don't like Mike Krzyzewski, but if that's the worst thing that the Piazza kid ever deals with in journalism,
come on.
Bud, you're in for a charmed existence because that was nothing. That was nothing. I've been treated so much worse. Oh, my God. Cliff Ellis was angry. I've dealt with angry, not perturbed.
Yeah.
And it directed at me.
Like I said, there's a difference in at you and mad 5 minutes after a game.
Yeah. I mean, I've been sought out after. That was nothing. On the Zoom call?
Yeah, come on.
Come on, man. Krzyzewski's
he's an ass. But
he's an ass. I was going to use a different word, but that's what he is.
Yeah. Whatever. Anyway, we'll have some guests for you as the week goes on. I assume tomorrow is as scheduled. A couple things could happen to mess that up, but as of now, tomorrow is as scheduled. So we will let you know as we know of any changes. Again, some podcasts to you throughout the week on the network, even if maybe one or two of them are not necessarily video streamed capability. So you'll get what you get. We've got some stuff going on, and we will talk to you again on Tuesday. Again, a lot of stuff at rebelgrove.com, so go check that out. Subscribe if you are not. And then here, if you hadn't even getting the notifications, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to make sure you take advantage of that. And we'll talk to you again very soon. Have a good day.